The rain had been falling since morning. Not the loud kind, not the storm kind, just a slow, steady rain that felt tired, like the sky had been crying all night and had nothing left to prove. Marcus stood under the narrow roof outside the hospital entrance. His hands were shaking, not from cold, from fear. Inside that building, on the third floor, his mother was dying. He had known this day would come, but knowing and accepting are two very different things. Marcus was 24 years old, tall, strong shoulders, a face that had learned how to look calm even when everything inside was breaking. People often said he looked just like his mother. Same deep brown skin, same serious eyes, same quiet strength. But today that strength was gone. He wiped his face with his sleeve and walked inside. The smell of disinfectant hit him right away. Sharp, cold, unforgiving. Room 317. He walked slowly, like each step made the truth heavier. When he opened the door, the machines were the first thing he heard. Soft beeping, slow breathing sounds, a rhythm that felt borrowed. His mother, Ruth Johnson, lay on the bed, smaller than he remembered. Her hair was wrapped in a simple scarf. Her face looked tired but peaceful, like someone who had fought a long war and was finally allowed to rest. Marcus pulled a chair close and sat down. He took her hand. It was warm, still alive, still his mother. "Mama," he whispered. Her eyes opened slowly. She smiled. That same smile she used when he was a child and scared of the dark. The same smile that said, "I'm here." "You came," she said softly. "I wasn't going anywhere," Marcus replied, his voice cracking. They sat in silence for a moment, the kind of silence filled with memories. Then Ruth spoke again. "Marcus," she said, "there's something I need you to read." She nodded toward the small table beside the bed. On it was a plain white envelope. No declarations, no fancy words, just his name written in careful handwriting. Marcus picked it up. "What is this?" he asked. She took a slow breath. "It's my last letter to you." His chest tightened. "I don't want to read that," he said. "Not now." She squeezed his hand gently. "You won't read it now," she said. "You'll read it when I'm gone." Marcus looked away. His jaw clenched. "I'm not ready," he said. She smiled again, softer this time. "I know," she said, "but you'll be ready when the time comes." Marcus grew up in a small apartment on the south side of the city. No father around. Not because his father died, because his father left. Ruth never spoke badly about him. She never needed to. His absence spoke loud enough. She worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3. Morning shift at a nursing home, evening cleaning offices downtown, weekends at a grocery store. Marcus used to wait by the window every night. When he saw her walking down the street, tired but standing tall, he would run to open the door. She always smelled like soap and city air. "How was school?" she would ask, even when her feet hurt and her back ached. "Good," he would say, even when it wasn't. They survived together, not comfortably, but with dignity. Ruth taught Marcus early that being poor did not mean being small. "Hold your head up," she would say. "The world already tries to push it down." She taught him how to speak with respect, how to look people in the eye, how to say no when something felt wrong. But life was not kind. In high school, Marcus started to change. Anger crept in. He saw how the world treated boys who looked like him. He felt watched, judged, expected to fail. Friends around him started making fast money, easy money, selling, stealing, running with the wrong crowd. Ruth noticed. She always noticed. One night, she waited for him at the kitchen table. The light above flickered. "Sit down," she said. He sat. "You're drifting," she said calmly. "I'm fine," he replied. She shook her head. "No," she said. "You're angry, and anger can build or destroy. Choose carefully." Marcus said nothing. That night, he left the apartment angry. He did not come home until morning. Ruth never yelled, never screamed. She just hugged him and cried. That was worse than any punishment. Marcus was 19 when everything fell apart. He was arrested for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. A fight, a broken window, a charge that stuck. Ruth sat in the courtroom alone. No family, no support, just her and her prayers. When the judge spoke, Marcus stared at the floor. Probation, community service, one mistake away from jail. Outside the courthouse, Ruth finally spoke. "This is not who you are," she said. Marcus snapped. You don't know what's like out there, he said. You don't know what I face. She looked at him, eyes steady. I know exactly what you face, she said. Because I face it too. I just don't let it decide who I become. That night, Marcus left again. This time for months. He slept on couches, worked odd jobs, drifted. Ruth's health started failing quietly. High blood pressure, weak heart, long nights alone. Still, she prayed for her son every day. Marcus returned home one winter evening. Ruth looked thinner, older, but her smile was the same. They did not talk much that night, but she started writing. Every night, after work, she sat at the small kitchen table and wrote in that envelope. Page after page, words she had carried for years. Love, truth, pain, hope. She finished the letter 2 weeks before she collapsed at work. By the time Marcus got to the hospital, it was too late. The funeral was small. Rain again. Marcus stood alone beside her grave. The world felt empty. Back in the apartment, the silence was unbearable. He sat on the edge of his bed and picked up the envelope. Hands shaking, he opened it and read, My son, if you are reading this, then I am no longer with you. And I know that hurts. It hurts me too, even wherever I am now. I want you to know something first. You were never a mistake. Not even once. You were my purpose. I raised you with tired hands but a full heart. Every sacrifice I made, I would make again. I know I was not perfect. I know I did not always have the answers. But I always had love. Marcus, the world will try to tell you who you are. It will try to make you small, angry, bitter. Do not let it. You come from strength, from dignity, from people who survived when they were not supposed to. Your skin is not a burden. It is a history. Your pain is not weakness. It is proof you care. If you fall, get up. If you fail, learn. If you feel lost, remember where you come from. I am always with you. In your choices, in your courage, in your kindness. Live a life that feels honest. That is all I ever wanted. Love always. Mama. Marcus cried until his chest hurt. Not loud cries. Deep ones. The kind that cleans something inside. Something shifted that night. Not instantly. Not magically. But slowly. He went back to school. Worked nights. Stayed out of trouble. Some days were hard. Some days he almost gave up. But he remembered her words. Years passed. Marcus became a youth counselor. He worked with boys who reminded him of himself. Angry. Lost. Brilliant. He told them his story. He told them about a mother who never gave up. Years later, Marcus stood on a stage at a community center. In his hand was the same letter. Worn. Folded. Loved. My mother taught me something, he said to the crowd. She taught me that love does not end when someone leaves. It lives on in how we choose to live. He paused. The lesson is simple, he said. You're not defined by where you start. You're defined by what you do with what you were given. The room was silent, and somewhere beyond that silence, a mother smiled.